A man who seeks self-mastery fears losing control. Above all, the worst blow you can strike is to show him he never had it. Narcissists thrive on attention and emotional chaos, draining your strength until you doubt yourself. But here's the truth. You don't need to fight or seek revenge. Reclaim your mind, and their power fades. Today, you'll learn 7 Stoic strategies to render them powerless, not through conflict or shouting, but by forging an unbreakable inner fortress. Are you ready to see what true strength looks like? First, starve their need for attention. Narcissists feed on your reactions, craving both praise and conflict. The more you engage, the stronger they feel. A Stoic knows that what you ignore loses its grip. I once dealt with a man who thrived on endless drama. Every insult, every jab was a trap. When I stopped reacting, his game collapsed. Silence unnerves them more than rage. Marcus Aurelius said, "A lion doesn't lose sleep over the opinions of sheep." Ask yourself, what happens when you cut off the attention they crave? Second, build boundaries like iron walls. Narcissists despise limits because they strip away their control. I recall a colleague who constantly overstepped late-night calls, last-minute demands. At first, I explained my refusals, but that only fueled his pressure. Then I stopped explaining. I said no, and stood firm. The tension was real, but it shifted everything. Epictetus taught that you control your mind, not external events. Boundaries aren't walls, they're gates. You lock by choice. When was the last time you held a line without apology? Third-wheeled, the calm of a Stoic warrior. Narcissists feed on your reactions, pushing until you break, because fear makes you malleable. I faced a manager who thrived on aggression. One day, I refused his game. He shouted. I stayed steady, speaking slowly, without emotion. The shift was instant. He faltered, with nothing to grip onto. Seneca said, "The wise man is content with his lot." Calm isn't weakness, it's power cloaked in stillness. What happens when you meet chaos with silence? Fourth, refuse to justify yourself. Narcissists demand you defend every choice, twisting your words to trap you. I learned this from a friend who questioned my every move. At first, I explained, but it led nowhere. Then I stopped. I said no and left it there. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Don't waste time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. Act with quiet certainty, and you shut their door of control." What if you let your actions speak and stopped explaining? Fifth, triumph in silence. Nothing unsettles a narcissist more than success they can't claim. I worked with someone who mocked every small victory. So, I stopped sharing them. I focused on my craft, letting results speak softly. Over time, they grew restless, with nothing to attack. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The best revenge is to be unlike your enemy. Build quietly. Let progress be your answer." What if you stopped proving yourself and became untouchable? Sixth, observe with empathy, but don't fall into their trap. You can understand a narcissist's pain without fueling their chaos. I had a colleague who thrived on conflict. Instead of clashing, I studied his patterns, learning more about human nature than any book could teach. Seneca said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." See them as a lesson, not a threat, and their power over you fades. Can you watch without being pulled in? That's where true freedom begins. Seventh, Walk away and never look back. Sometimes, victory lies in leaving the battlefield entirely. I knew a man trapped in a cycle of manipulation, always hoping for change that never came. The day he walked away, he reclaimed his peace. Marcus Aurelius said, "Your happiness depends on the quality of your thoughts. When you walk away, you choose freedom over control." What would your life look like if you closed that door for good? In conclusion, seize your inner power. These 7 Stoic strategies aren't about vengeance, they're about liberation. Each step pulls you beyond their reach, anchoring you in your own strength. Stoicism teaches that true power comes from mastering yourself, not others. When you stop feeding their game, you rise above it. Choose clarity over chaos. Are you ready to reclaim your power and live untouchable? Share your thoughts and begin your transformation today.